everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly general outlook for March 22nd to the 29th for Scorpio. And I'm going to start the video like I have all the videos this week, just wishing you guys all be safe out there, healthy out there, try to stay kind to each other, right? It's a difficult time for everybody. The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, I'm giving this away to a subscriber on my channel, March 31st. So if you want to be in the running for this beautiful deck, I love this deck. I use it every week. All you have to do is be subscribed and leave me a comment somewhere just letting me know you're interested in being in the drawing. All right, guys? So we're going to get right into it for you, Scorpio, for this March 22nd, 29th. I'm going to pull out your, move the deck closer. Pull out your romance angel messages first, then we'll pull out your animal spirits, and then we'll pull out your traditional tarot reading for the week. Just do it 3-card readings. All right, guys, straight out, we're going to do make an effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take, so make an effort. We have codependency. Addiction is affecting your love life and engagement. So some of you, your love life is ascending to a higher level of a commitment, a higher level of engagement. You may be even moving in. You may be getting married or getting engaged, but you could also just be moving in together, right? It's just reaching a higher level of commitment, whatever that higher level is for you. But it is an increased level of commitment there, right? All right, guys, let's get your animal spirits out, Scorpio. We're going to see more about what this all means for you this week. Make an effort, codependency, and engagement. Interesting. Now, the animal spirits are, I use the same deck that I'm giving away, and it's a beautiful deck. And the animal spirits are going to come into you all kinds of ways, but you'll know it. Sometimes it's just a change that's happening in your psyche or in your mental or physical. Sometimes it is an actual, excuse me, 2 cards just fell. Sometimes it can actually be, you know, somebody that you're resonating with. They could be resonating with a certain spirit animal and they're bringing that into your life. So whatever the case is, we're going to see what it means for you this week, Scorpio, all right? So if it resonates with you, then great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Just, you know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. All right, guys, we have straight out the elephant. Wow, love it. Strong. Fire energy associated with the Hindu god Ganesh, associated with bringing in abundance and wealth, and also destroyer of obstacles, the hyena. More fire energy. This is interesting, the hyena. And then we have the fish. Slippery relationships with that fish. Wow. All right, Scorpio. Well, you know, your readings never really sort of disappoint, right? You always have very interesting animal spirits that come in for you, usually quite strong ones, and today is no exception. The elephant is a strong animal spirit. It's associated, like I said, with the Hindu god Ganesh. He is the great destroyer of obstacles, right? The elephant. The elephant brings a power, an unstoppable force that just knocks down. I mean, even in the jungle where they live, they knock down trees, right, to make paths. That's how elephant troops get around. They knock down the trees. They're so big they can't just follow the natural paths of the jungle, right? So they make their own path. And so the elephant is the spirit of that, making its own path, knocking down obstacles. This is a lot of times an energy that just can come into your life. Now, you may be resonating with it yourself, right? You may be just having this energy where you're just overcoming certain obstacles. You may be just suddenly able to draw on the strength of the spirit animal, right? The spirit animal of the elephant. This is the spirit in which you are moving forward right now. This is what we talk about, spirit animals coming in, you know. It's resonating with certain archetypal spirit that is out there in nature that we all can tap into at certain times, right? And all of these various spirits, right, can be sort of characterized by all of the animals, not just by human spirits, but animal spirits. And so the spirit of the elephant is when you're tapping into that raw energy. It can also be the spirit of the universe bringing in abundance, right? So the elephant elephant generally brings abundance in. But this is a natural consequence of knocking down obstacles. So you know, it's like one comes with the other, because the elephant brings wisdom and he brings abundance, but because he's able to make the right path he needs to make to his objective. So in a lot of ways, this is the type of abundance that is very much earned. Right? So this is different than the owl, which brings blessings, which showers blessings sometimes out of nowhere, where you get these extra blessings. You know, it's not necessarily something that you so actively work towards, so it feels like a blessing. This is sort of rewards coming in a lot of ways, right? With the elephant, you know, bringing in abundance, because a lot of times you have absolutely put that fire energy into work towards that. Very strong animal spirit for you, Scorpio. Now the hyena is another fire animal spirit, but this is the animal spirit for wit and humor, sarcasm, right? But this is quite biting humor, right? I mean, a laughing hyena, right? It's menacing, right? It feels menacing and doesn't feel funny. It's not. So this is generally a spirit animal that is coming in at a time when, you know, you're having difficulty with feelings. You may be feeling inadequate. You may be dealing with somebody who's resonating with this also, right? It could be you dealing with somebody like this. But the energy is the same. It's a feeling, you know, of inadequacy, right? Having a bit of low self-esteem. Just feeling like, I want to say, just feeling like you aren't good enough, or that you aren't successful enough, right? Or that you haven't, you know, it's a very specific feeling about not having value or worth, right? Oh, my cat just jumped off the table. Sorry about that. Not having value or worth, right? And so you cover it up with humor. Right, you cover it up, or the person you're maybe dealing with somebody who's like that, and they're always like joking, right? They're always being very sarcastic, but you can tell that they're hurting inside, right? That they're feeling kind of awkward, and this is the feeling of the hyena. And so this is one of those animal spirits that is kind of like reminding us that it's time to sort of look inward, right? To really sort of try and figure out why you have these feelings, and to try and forgive yourself, or you know, whatever healing it is that you need to do for yourself, so that you can be more confident, so you don't have to rely so much on this kind of strained energy that's coming through with the hyena. It's a strong sort of, I don't want to say it's a negative energy, but it's an energy that any of us will resort to when we're in pain. So it's a warning, sort of, right? It's a warning spirit that reminds us that, okay, you're in pain right now. You know, so maybe it's time to look at what it is that's really causing you all of that pain, right? And then we have the fish, and the fish is water energy. And the fish here, we're talking about being very sort of casual in life. Casual, I want to say casual, but also just allowing yourself to be swept up by the current. Now, this can be somebody also in your life, or it can be you yourself. You're resonating with this. But it could be somebody in your life maybe that, you know, they always move with the current, you know, wherever life leads them. And so they're never anchored. They're never committed. They're never really willing to sort of stay, right? It's like holding a fish in your hands. They're very slippery. They just get out of your hands somewhere. You know, somehow, some way, somewhere, they just get out of your hands and they're off. And so this can be, you know, oftentimes this is another sort of, you know, warning sort of animal spirit. It's like you could be resonating with the fish, but it's not, in the long term, you know, you're going to have slippery relationships. You're going to have relationships that you never can get deeper with, right? And so eventually that's going to be, you know, it may feel good in the short term to be, you know, just going from here to there, but in the long term, you're going to miss out on that deeper connection that you could be having. So it's a warning energy to either remind you, if you're resonating with that, to, you know, be more sort of intentional about what you're wanting to do, be more anchored, be more grounded, and it be more in control of where life is leading you. Or you may be dealing with somebody like that, right? And they may be causing you, you know, they may be causing you a lot of anguish because they're doing that to you. Then you want to just like either have that conversation with them, or, you know, figure out how you're going to sort of, you know, I don't know, you know, it's down to you, Scorpio, how you want to handle that, but it's something to be aware of, that they're going to be slippery like that until they're willing to sort of slow down, right? And so if that's hurting you because you're on an on-again, off-again sort of relationship with somebody who's resonating with the fish, then that's something that you're going to have to be aware of going forward. Like, how do you want to protect your heart so that, if this person is just in and out, how are you going to protect your heart from that? Or are you going to go forward with that and have to, have a conversation about it, or whatever your tactic is? But it's something you have to pay attention to if you're dealing with somebody resonating with this energy, because it can be quite hurtful, All right, let's get right into it, Scorpio. I'm going to pull out your 3 forecasts for the week. Now, these forecasts are intended to be separate from each other, so you see which one you resonate with, if at all, any of them. They may not resonate with you at all. We have 6 of Cups, the World, and the beautiful Emperor there. Wow. So some of you are coming into this week. You have a 6 of Cups energy, which is beautiful, right? You're coming together with somebody. Right? You're coming together with somebody you love, somebody you have a strong soulmate connection with. You're thinking about coming together with them. You're thinking about having, a pleasurable meeting with them. And all intents and purposes, this is what you're focused on, and this is what you're looking forward to. As you come through the week, and of course I believe this happens for you. This is not sort of a, I don't want to say like this is like, let's hope that this happens. Like you are resonating with this. So this is for a Scorpio who's going to be with someone that they love very much, and they are resonating with this beautiful, pleasurable energy. And so you're coming into the week with this. Further on into the week, you are going to be feeling a lot of energy like the world coming in, right? Like you're dancing on top of the world. Now, the world showed up for the last reading. I believe it was for Libra. And the world really is a beautiful card when everything in your life seems to be going right. This is a nice uplifting reading. Everything seems to be going great for you. Everything seems to be working out exactly the way they should be, right? And so you feel this is a feeling of being like in touch with every asset or facet of your life, right? Rounding off the week with Emperor. So the Emperor is like, you are absolutely in charge. You are absolutely the king of your castle. You feel as though you have established order on something. You certainly have established authority. You certainly have established ownership, I'm going to say. You are establishing yourself as the divine masculine. Now, it could be for some of you, if you're on the other end of it, it could be somebody coming in for you, right? So it could be somebody coming in out of this relationship, perhaps, who's saying, look, I want to be this divine masculine in your life. But in any case, to me, it really feels like this is you. Right, Scorpio? It feels like by the end of the week, you're rounding off with that Emperor energy because you're feeling very good about wherever you've landed. You've absolutely landed where you wanted to land. Your plan worked out. And I think a lot of that is a knock-on effect from this beautiful meeting that you have. Some of you may have set up this date with somebody, a friend or something like that, and it's like something you've been planning for a long time, right? And so certainly, not only does it all work out, right? And this could be romantic or just friendship, but I do feel like this is something leading into a romantic relationship, because we do have engagement. So if it's a friendship, it feels to me like a friendship that resonates up to a love connection, right? That becomes romantic, right? So in any case, you have this meeting with somebody. By the time the meeting is over, or the connection or the time you spend together is over, you're in a romantic phase, right? And you're coming into the week with that. And I just feel like this is you, Scorpio, and you're very much settled and exactly where you want to be, It's abundance comes in. Also, the Emperor is associated with the spirit of the elephant as well. 4 of Wands, King of Wands, 4 of Swords. Wow, 2 4s. All right, 2 4s and a King. More establishment of stability, power, and energy, right? 4 is the number for stability, Scorpio. So again, here we're talking about you building your little power base, right? Building your stability, building your grounding, building, your foundations. 4 of Wands is the 11-11 soulmate card. Again, some of you are coming into the week. You're with your soulmate. You're together with your soulmate. And by the time you come into the week, you resonate with King of Wands energy. Now, this is interesting. This King of Wands, I want to say it could be somebody coming into you, right? And speaking to you about, what your next steps are. But I don't feel that. See, Scorpio, I never feel like people are coming in telling you much of anything. This could be you resonating right? So you come into this really strong King of Wands. You meet, you resonate up here with this engagement. Could be, my readings are gender neutral, right? But it could be feeling like you, Scorpio, have asked somebody to marry you, right? And that's immediately put you in this king position, right? Because you're looking back on this this connection here. So this is a really strong and interesting connection of cards. Four of Wands, King of Wands here. Certainly for you, Scorpio, it's very fiery. It's very intentional. It's very sort of... I want to say not contrived, but it's like it feels like you certainly by the middle of the week you're feeling like you are absolutely in control of what it is you want to do, your vision, your plan. And I think part of it is this Four of Wands. I think you were setting this up. So you're certainly the hunter in this situation, I think, Scorpio. Right now, if you're not the hunter, I would say that this King of Wands is somebody who's coming into you, Scorpio. Okay, it could be that you are not so much the masculine, you may be the feminine energy in a relationship, right? In that case, this week you're definitely going to have your masculine energy, your strong sort of masculine energy coming in for you with a vision about what they want to see, how they would see this relationship moving forward. This is a very intentional energy to move a relationship forward fast, right? Meeting somebody, getting together, and right away being like, okay, this is how it's going to be, right? This is the plan. By the end of the week, you're resonating with Four of Swords, which is a real sort of feeling of strategy. Strategizing the next move. What's your next move going to be? So it could be, for instance, if you are... And I'm going to say this because King of Wands is such a strong masculine energy. It's fire of fire. So it's really, it's masculine fire energy, right? So I just feel like if this is somebody coming into you, Scorpio, that you've made a connection with, then by the end of the week, you're going to be thinking about, okay, do I want to do this or not? Because they're coming in so strong with that King of Wands. Right, Scorpio? So by the end of the week, some of you Scorpios who are on the receiving end of this King of Wands coming in are going to be thinking like, okay, what's my next move? If you're the King of Wands coming in, if this is you resonating forward as dominant, you are also going to be thinking about what your next decision is, but it's going to be in a completely different way. Right? Whereas you will be planning your next move, right? In terms of how you want the relationship, how you want the future and everything to go, that will be much more your strategy. If you're on the receiving end of this King of Wands, and if it's not you resonating with it and this person is coming into you, I think that a lot of your thinking by the end of the week will be on whether or not you take their offer up, or whether or not you want to be in this kind of relationship, because this is certainly with somebody who's very dominant, right? This is going, because the King of Wands is very dominant. He's domineering, right? He has a certain vision. He has a certain idea about life, about the way things should be. So he can be very, very fiery. And even though you Scorpios are indeed a water sign, you can resonate a lot with King of Wands energy a lot of times because you are so fiery. So this could absolutely be you also. All right, Three of Wands, more fire. Damn, Two of Swords and the Nine of Cups. This is your last spread. And Three of Wands is all about really waiting, right? Having to have patience. Three is the number for patience, and Three of Wands is Three is the number for virtue and loyalty, right? And patience is a virtue, so that's how it's associated. All the threes in the tarot are associated with bonding and loyalty and virtue to a certain degree. But here we're talking about the virtue of patience because he's waiting. Right? So he's waiting for the information to come in. You're feeling like you're waiting for something, right? So some of you Scorpios are going to be coming into the week resonating with this. You may be in a pause mode in some area in your life. You may be having to force to just sit and wait. And this, of course, is another card that's been coming out for a lot of the readings because a lot of people are being literally forced to just sit and wait. Right? And so this is also halting your decisions about what you're going to do going forward. In terms of your life decisions, other decisions, right? But in any case, Three of Wands is sometimes a feeling, of course, of having to wait because life is forcing you to wait. It can be frustrating, but but try to hang in there because this is always for a good reason, whether it feels like it or not, whether it feels frustrating or not. It is always for a good reason. And once this information, event, or whatever it is that you're waiting for comes into you, you are going to be in a much better position to make the right choice. You do come into this week and you're still faced with this awful feeling of having to make an impossible decision. So part of you could be feeling like that because you are waiting here for something. You're waiting to hear from someone, right? You may be waiting to hear from someone before you make a certain decision, right? You may be needing to know what somebody's position is or have a certain conversation or meet somebody or whatever like that before you know what decision you want to make here. And so you're in a difficult situation here with this Two of Swords, right? Of being in the land of indecision. You're just not sure which way to go. And a lot of times they say the Two of Swords is all about balance, but and finding balance when you can't make the right decision. But here it feels to me like you can't make the right decision because you don't necessarily have all the information because you're still waiting for something, right? So you're not really able to weigh the decision quite fairly. That's how it feels to me, Scorpio. And I don't know, I think you just be very patient, right? You be very patient. For now, you balance both, right? So right now, you find your balance until you can make a decision. In the end, if you can't, balance is the way. And by the end of the week, you round off with Nine of Cups, which is feeling quite blessed for the relationships and the blessings that you do have. So it's interesting that this will come out like this. Three of Wands could be you waiting to hear from a lover, right? Three of Wands could be waiting for you to hear from, family or something like that. But I feel like it's something that, of course, you feel quite passionate about because it's Wands energy. But I think there may be a love connection there also because by the end of the week, you're quite happy and you're feeling quite blessed, right? So I feel like maybe you hear the news by the end of the week for some of you. During the week, we'll be quite anxious with this Two of Swords. But by the end of the week, to come out with such a happy, sort of contented card, I think a lot of you sort of get what you were waiting for. And it could certainly be that confirmation of a love connection that you were waiting for or what have you. Whatever it is, it's something that was impacting a very major decision that you were having to make, probably for your life situation right now. In any case, this turns out very, very nicely. And I'm going to say that probably the spirit of the elephant is there also with that, right? It's beautiful. Again, it feels like it could be a level of engagement coming in. Also making the effort in terms of waiting and be having patience, make the effort to have that patience. Because again, you round off with this quite happy Nine of Cups energy. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it at that. March 22nd to the 29th, general outlook. Your love outlook will be out for the weekend, and that's an outlook for you and your other person, just a general sort of snapshot into one relationship. That'll be out by the weekend. And don't forget to remind me if you are interested in the Wild Unknown Animal deck and guidebook. You have to leave me a comment and let me know. Just say you're interested, and be subscribed to my channel. March 31st, I'm going to announce the winner. And so don't forget to check out my channel for that day to watch the winner video so you know whether or not you won. All right, guys? But for right now, I'm going to say, like I said in all my videos, please stay safe out there. Try to stay as healthy as you can, right? I know it's hard, but stay healthy out there, stay safe, and stay kind to each other, stay kind to, your friends and your neighbors and people you don't know. Just be kind to each other and be very, very careful. And I'm just going to say have a wonderful week, Scorpio, and I shall see you next week for your general weekly outlook. All right, guys?